Hi, I'm Jessica Lenahan. I'm the petitioner in the case of Jessica Gonzales versus the United States of America. My life's work is to educate Americans that protection from domestic violence is our human right. I was born and raised in Pueblo, Colorado. I'm Native American and Latina. I met Simon Gonzales when we were children. Through the years, we saw each other off and on and eventually got married in 1990. We had 3 daughters, Rebecca, Catherine, and Leslie Gonzales. Slowly but surely, just became very controlling in what I wore and who I spoke to, and it slowly crept in over the 10.5 years that we had a marriage.
And he started acting really erratic, and threats of wanting to kill himself and threatening his neighbors, I'm gonna die, you're gonna die, somebody's gonna die.
He actually tried to hang himself in the garage in front of my children at one time. When you're a victim, you try to portray this life like it's fine, like there's nothing wrong. But when my children were starting to become affected and become frightened of him, I just decided that we're just going to tell the truth. And no matter how painful or shameful I felt at that time, that it was really necessary to do whatever I needed to do as a mother to protect my children. In 1999, I decided I needed a restraining order, that it just got so dangerous for the children. I went before the judge and explained what was going on within my home, and the judge realized that Simon was a danger to me and the children, and that he needed to not be a part of the home at all and needed to stay at least 100 yards from the household itself. On June 22nd, 1999, Simon violated the restraining order by kidnapping the girls from my front yard. I called the police, and dispatch was supposed to send a car out, and I waited hours before they came out, and I called again. I'd given the officers the restraining order when they arrived, and they decided that because Simon was their father, that the children would be fine and they didn't have to look for them. I shouldn't worry because they were with their father. But all in all, they just, throughout the evening, didn't look for them at all. They were very dismissive of any requests I made and belittling to me for even asking them for help. They called me ridiculous at one point. I contacted the police 9 times altogether, twice in person and 7 times over the telephone. At 3:20 in the morning, Simon pulled up in front of the police station after buying a gun and opened fire on the police. And they fired back. Simon died, shot him dead. And then they found the bodies of my 3 children shot to death in the cab of the truck. Eventually, it went to the highest court in the land, which was the Supreme Court. The United States Supreme Court said that I had no constitutional right to police protection or enforcement of my restraining order. So if restraining orders are not enforced, then they're not worth the paper they're written on. I filed a case with the Inter-American Commission on Human Rights because my human rights were violated by Castle Rock, Colorado for not enforcing a restraining order to protect my children and myself. And my human rights were also violated within the court system for not providing a remedy.
I deserve answers, and I deserve to know the truth. I want to know why the police ignored my calls for help. I've been asking these questions for 9 years. 9 long years. How long will it take for you to help me discover the truth? I know I cannot bring my children back from that night. The emptiness I feel when I remember my daughters and the great lives they might have lived. Nothing can bring them back. Nothing. What I can do, however, is to be a voice for the voiceless and women who are promised protection in America and then denied it in the moment they're in danger.
By deciding in my favor, the Inter-American Commission has recognized that the United States allows human rights violations to continue against women and children. These are the facts and the statistics in our country. 1.3 million women are physically assaulted in the United States by an intimate partner each year. Every day, approximately 3 women and 1 man are murdered in the United States by an intimate partner. Every year, 3.3 million children are exposed to violence against their mothers or their female caretakers. Every day, approximately 4 children die from violence in the home. There are preventative measures. I believe education starting from very young will prevent violence, domestic violence, violence against women. All in all, it's not up to the Commission to change the U.S. It's up to United States citizens to decide to change this world for themselves. They can give us all the tools, but we have got to be able to embrace and put them to use. Our society traditionally thought of domestic violence as something that happened behind closed doors and that it was nobody else's business. But it is our business, and it should be our government's business too. Our government can't turn a blind eye to this human rights violation. It's happening right under their noses. Our country has an obligation to stop domestic violence in its tracks.